Welcome to AM Buffalo. We are here at GiGi's Playhouse. But before that, wait a minute. I'm Mercedes Wilson.
You are Mercedes Wilson. And I'm her partner in crime, Emily Lamba. Yes, we are always excited to be at GiGi's Playhouse. If you're unfamiliar with GiGi's Playhouse, that's why we're here today. Yes. Because we wanted to make sure that you knew all about this fantastic place that offers such fantastic programs for our local community. They're located in Buffalo on Kenmore Avenue, but we're going to welcome in Emily Monshine.
Good morning.
Emily knows everything there is to know about GiGi's.
Yes, thank you so much for having me today.
Yes. So, Emily, you have a great event coming up tonight.
Yes.
But let's talk about a little bit of the history. Tell people what GiGi's is all about.
Yeah, so GiGi's Playhouse is a national franchise of Down syndrome achievement centers. Okay, and the first one started in 2003, and GiGi's Playhouse Buffalo opened in 2020. We were the 49th location. Wow. Yeah.
And what's your story?
I was going to say, it is World Down Syndrome Day.
Yes.
And obviously that is the reason why we're here. Blue and gold, we're very proud. So let's talk about that, if you could, before we even get to your story, because I think your story is definitely one that's really reaches people. But why is today such a huge day for GiGi's?
Yeah, so today is the day we celebrate World Down Syndrome Day. So it's the third month of the year, March, and the 21st day of the month. And that's because individuals with Down syndrome have 3 copies of the 21st chromosome. So this is a day around the world that people come together to celebrate their loved ones, the people they work with, maybe the people they teach who have Down syndrome. So it's just really a community coming together. And Buffalo has been amazing this year, lighting up their buildings, and we have so many community members who have signs out on their front lawns and their lights on in blue and yellow. So it's great.
And you guys do a lot of great work here, and that takes determination. What's the story behind it? What's your why?
So I have a little boy who has Down syndrome. He's 7 years old, and I have 2 boys. And he's just such a light. He's taught us all so much about life, so many things we didn't know until he came along. And so I learned about Paulie when I was 16 months into my pregnancy. And I think when a woman is pregnant, it's a time where support is needed no matter what, but then if you find out that you actually have some type of diagnosis that you are carrying, which is what it became to me, it's scary. So I didn't receive the support I desperately needed. What I wanted was education. What I wanted was to learn about how to help a baby, who has Down syndrome, the basics. And I got a lot of discrimination and a lot of bias from the medical community. So that was sort of the caveat for the work that I do now. It really kind of pushed me to get up and, how can we break down these barriers? How can we address the discriminations where we see it? So that's why I do what I do.
You do amazing work.
Thank you.
You offer programs to everyone in the community if they want them, if they need them. And it's not just for little kids. This is all through adulthood.
Yes.
If you could just briefly talk about what's going on at GiGi's now and maybe some programs that you're just really proud of.
Yeah, sure. So we provide programs to all ages. So from birth and all the way up. You can be however old and you can come to GiGi's Playhouse. And each age group has an educational component, it has a fitness component, and it has like a social component. So some of our signature programs, GiGi Fit, so we offer an infant GiGi Fit class and then a kid and a teen class as well. We have one-on-one literacy programs where individuals with Down syndrome, there's a developmental and an educational profile that's been well researched, but our schools don't really know about this, our educators don't know about this. So here at GiGi's Playhouse, we can deliver a lot of our services addressing what the presence of the extra chromosome brings to learning. So we have a literacy one-on-one tutor program that takes that on. We have a speech one-on-one program that also addresses that piece. So, and it's all free. Speech is not cheap, so we have a beautiful partnership with the UB Speech and Language Clinic. Mary Stabell, give a shout out to her. She's our speech pathologist, and we love her here. But she comes and helps us deliver these services, and we have like 20 plus programs. So those are just a few that I'm really excited about.
There are so many people that need to learn more about Down syndrome. Why is it important that everyone kind of get a grip on what Down syndrome is about?
Down syndrome is the most commonly occurring genetic condition. So it's not going anywhere, right? And there are a lot of individuals who do have Down syndrome, and they're in our schools, and they're in our community, and if they're not, they should be. And so those of us who don't have exposure, GiGi's Playhouse is a great place to learn about that. And you don't even have to come in. I mean, we have great social media platforms and websites and a whole virtual component. But, you're missing out on a population that's really, truly amazing.
Yep.
Being able to provide this, let's go ahead and tell people where they can find out more about GiGi's Playhouse, and then we'll talk about it being, what it means to you to be able to see how far you've come in 7 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you know that you started from a very personal space, but being able to see what's going on in Buffalo, you said you were very proud. So if you could just remind people where they can find more information about GiGi's.
Sure, yeah. So our website to reach out, we are at gigisplayhouse.org/Buffalo. And then if you want to reach out to us, maybe you need some personal support, maybe you're expecting a child with Down syndrome, or you just want to learn more medically, because we do have a great partnership with the Down syndrome program at Oshai. So you can reach out to us at buffalo@gigisplayhouse.org.
But being able to say that we've come far, but there's still a lot more to do. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Sure. So education, I was a teacher before I went into this walk of life. So that's where my passion lies. And I came to understand what inclusion meant after I had my son. And I think far too many parents have to advocate and fight for their child to be included in general education settings. And we're just continuing to further the stigma. When we don't allow children to learn alongside each other and to learn about each other's differences and to celebrate and explore them, we're doing those with Down syndrome a harm, but we're also doing those who are neurotypically developing a harm as well. I personally would have loved to have grown up alongside somebody with Down syndrome. Then my prenatal diagnosis wouldn't have been so horrifying. And my OB probably would have done a better job as well if she'd had more positive exposure. So we have a long way to go in our schools. Again, with our medical providers, we have a long way to go. But we do have great advocates in those realms as well that I work closely with, teachers, doctors, clinicians who are just stepping up and doing the work alongside us. And I'm so proud of those relationships.
You should be very proud.
Yes, so proud. You mentioned inclusion?
Yes.
There are programs we're going to tell you about after we take a quick break, which is very inclusive, where you can participate and you can help out. One of them is GiGi Fit. So stay with us, yes.